woke up to find my entire $7,500 Christmas tax refund gone. But the moment my bank said the money was transferred to a family member with your last name, I knew exactly who robbed me. What she didn't know was that I had access to her credit score, and I was about to use it to ruin her perfect suburban reputation. If there's one thing every single parent in America counts on, it's the tax refund. Especially when Christmas is around the corner, bills are piling up, and the college dorm deposit deadline is breathing down your neck. For me, that refund wasn't extra money. It was my lifeline. This year I got lucky. The IRS processed my return early, and I received a $7,500 refund on December 10th. My plan for the money was simple. $1,200 Christmas gifts for my son. $800 joy fees I was behind on. $600 credit card payment. $3,000 spring dorm deposit for my son's college. $900 emergency fund. Nothing fancy, just survival. I deposited the check at 6:13 p.m., drove home through the snow, made hot cocoa, and went to sleep feeling, for once, stable. I woke up at 6:02 a.m., opened my banking app, and nearly screamed. My balance, $73.19. I refreshed the app. Again. The $7,500 was gone. My hands started shaking. I rushed to the Transactions tab and saw a line that made my stomach drop. ACH transfer. $7,500. External checking account. Completed 2:09 a.m. What? Who steals money at 2 a.m.? I instantly called the bank. A woman named Angela answered with the politest voice possible. Ma'am, this transfer was authorized. Authorized by who? Snap. One moment, let me check. I heard her typing. Then she paused. A long, uncomfortable pause. Ma'am, this was transferred to an account with the same last name as yours. My heart dropped into my stomach. Which last name? I whispered. She hesitated. It says S. Thompson. My sister, Sarah. I felt the heat rush to my face. My own sister. My own blood. I choked out. There must be a mistake. She doesn't even know my banking password. There's a digital signature from her device, ma'am. Fingerprint ID. Fingerprint ID. That meant she didn't just hack my account. She physically used my phone. My mind immediately replayed the night before. Sarah had unexpectedly dropped by, around 9 p.m. to borrow my KitchenAid mixer for her Christmas cupcakes. She supposedly had to rush home, but insisted on staying long enough to drink a hot cocoa and talk about her holiday stress. She had sat on the couch right next to me. She had asked to see pictures of my son's dorm on my phone. She held my phone, and looked, for a full minute. I didn't think anything of it then. But now, it all made sense. I hung up the phone, shaking with a mix of betrayal and rage. I drove straight to Sarah's suburban house. The one with the perfect lawn, perfect lights, perfect DJ-approved decorations, and perfect fake life. She opened the door wearing fuzzy socks and smiling like she didn't just ruin my entire month. Hey, you're early. Want coffee? I walked right past her into the kitchen. You transferred my $7,500 tax refund to your account. Her smile froze. What? No, I didn't. She laughed awkwardly. Why would I do that? I slammed my phone on the counter and showed her the bank receipt. The color drained from her face. Then she whispered. It was a mistake. A mistake. You signed it with your fingerprint. She stuttered. Well, I thought it was money Dad owed me. My IRS refund is somehow Dad's money now? Then came the sentence that made my head explode. You make more money than me. You don't need it as much as I do. My money. My refund. My son's college deposit. And she took it because she decided she needed it more. As she was talking, my eyes drifted to her phone sitting on the dining table. The phone she bought on our shared family plan. Guess what's connected to that plan? All members' credit report monitoring. I had access to her credit score, her loan accounts, her missed payments, her recent hard inquiries, her bankruptcy filing from 4 years ago, her entire financial life. And Sarah cared more about her credit score than her own marriage, kids, or Christmas. Because in her HOA neighborhood, a bad credit score is worse than a felony. That's when a cold, sharp idea formed in my mind. I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to beg. I wasn't going to ask her to return the money. No. I was going to wait until Christmas Eve dinner, when her perfect suburban facade was on full display. And I was going to destroy her reputation using nothing but the truth. I spent the entire week pretending nothing happened. Every time Sarah texted our family group chat about Christmas dinner plans, I smiled politely and typed, "Can't wait. I'll be there." But inside, I was rehearsing every detail of what I was going to do to her. Not physically, not violently, just the kind of revenge that hits harder. Public exposure, reputation collapse, financial humiliation. Because in our suburban HOA community, people don't fear jail, they fear judgment. On December 23rd, I went to Office Depot and bought a gold Christmas gift bag, red tissue paper, small gift box, satin ribbon, and then I printed the bank transfer receipt showing Sarah's fingerprint ID signature, her credit score report, which I had access to through our shared family plan, her delinquent loan notice from last month, her bankruptcy filing record, public information in the US. I folded everything neatly, placed it inside the box, and tied the ribbon. On top of the stack, I placed one note. "Next time you steal from me, I'll send this to the HOA board." Then I closed the box, placed it in the gift bag, and wrote in cursive, "Sarah, Merry Christmas." I had never felt so calm. Sarah hosts Christmas Eve every year. Her house looks like a Hallmark movie. White lights, gingerbread candles, fake snow, matching pajamas, everything choreographed for Instagram. Her husband, Mark, was in the kitchen carving ham. Her kids ran around in reindeer socks. My son sat beside me, whispering, "Mom, you okay? You look weird." "I'm good, baby," I said softly. But even he could feel the storm coming. Sarah floated around the house wearing an apron that said, "Queen of Christmas." If only they knew. During dinner, Sarah stood up to give her usual holiday speech. I sat silently, gripping the gift bag under the table. She smiled sweetly and said, "I've been so stressed this year. Money has been tight. We couldn't afford gifts for everyone." Her voice cracked and she wiped a fake tear. Mark put his arm around her. "My poor wife has been through so much." My jaw clenched. I watched her manipulate the entire room, the same way she manipulated my bank account. She continued, "But I'm thankful for family. Some of us are blessed enough to help others in need." She turned her eyes directly toward me, a slow, smug smile on her face. She was mocking me. Stealing $7,500 wasn't enough. She wanted to look like a victim too. That was it. I stood up. Begins. And so does the revenge. One by one, gifts were exchanged. Everyone laughed, hugged, took photos. Then Sarah said, "Okay, last gift. Who's this from?" I stepped forward and held the gold gift bag. "It's for you," I said. She tilted her head. "Ah, really? But I didn't get you anything." "I know," I said. "That's okay. I got you something special." She pulled out the decorated box, untied the bow, lifted the lid, and froze. The first paper she saw was the $7,500 bank transfer receipt with her fingerprint ID. The room went silent. Mark leaned forward. "What's that?" Sarah swallowed hard. I stepped closer. "That," I said loudly enough for the entire room to hear, "is the digital proof that Sarah stole my $7,500 tax refund." Everyone gasped. My mother covered her mouth. Mark's face drained of color. Sarah whispered, "Why would you bring this here?" "Because you stole from me," I said. And then stood here acting like a saint. She looked at the second paper. Her credit score. "Where did you get this?" she hissed. "Shared phone plan," I said calmly. "It's legal. And the HOA board would love to know their Queen of Christmas has a 512 credit score, a defaulted loan, and a bankruptcy she never disclosed." Her breath caught. That's personal. You should have thought about that before committing financial fraud." Mark grabbed the papers from the box and scanned them, his face turning dark red. "You stole money from your sister." "It wasn't, I needed help." "No," I said sharply. "You didn't ask for help. You stole it at 2 a.m. using my own phone. Then you lied about it." My mother whispered. "Sarah, how could you?" Her kids stared at her, confused. Sarah broke into tears. "I said I was going to pay it back." "When?" Snap. "Before or after posting your next Instagram story about your perfect life." She sobbed louder. Mark slammed his fist on the table. "You've embarrassed this family. On Christmas." I walked toward her slowly. Not angry anymore. Just done. "Here's the deal," I said. "You return the full $7,500 before midnight tomorrow, or I take all of these documents to the HOA board, your employer, and your bank." "You can't," she cried. "I can. And I will." The room was so silent you could hear the Christmas lights buzzing. Sarah covered her face and whispered, "Fine. I'll transfer it. I'll transfer all of it. And an extra $500 for the stress," I said coldly. "Or I start emailing." She nodded, crying. "Okay, babe. I'll do it." Sarah didn't speak to anyone for the rest of Christmas Eve. Her perfect suburban world had cracked wide open, and for the first time in years, she had no script, no fake smile, no Instagram-ready excuse. The next morning, Christmas Day, I woke up to a text from my bank. "Incoming transfer. $7,500 S. Thompson." And right below it, "Additional transfer. $500 S. Thompson." It was done. But the story wasn't over. That afternoon Mark called me privately. His voice was cold. "Thank you for telling me the truth. I checked her account today." "What did you find?" "Yes. She didn't steal the money for bills," he said. "She used $6,000 to pay off a secret credit card. One she opened under my name." My jaw dropped. Identity theft. Federal crime. Mark continued quietly. "I'm meeting with a lawyer after New Year's. I can't live like this anymore." For a moment I actually felt sorry for him. Living with someone who steals from her own sister is one thing. But stealing from your spouse, that's another level entirely. Within a week, the entire HOA neighborhood knew something was wrong. Sarah took down her Christmas decorations early. Her Instagram went silent. Her perfect suburban image had shattered. We never spoke again. But 3 weeks later, I received one last envelope in the mail. Inside was a handwritten note in shaky cursive. "I'm sorry. You gave me a chance to confess. I ruined it. I hope you and your son have a better year than I will. Sarah." I stared at the paper for a long time. Revenge didn't fix everything. But it did one thing. Protected my family. And it made sure she would never steal from me again.